Good morning and aloha. Welcome to Just Talking 24, page 65. As promised, I'm going to be talking about oxymorons. You know, the word oxymoron, it means sharp yet dull. Yeah, the word is a contradictory word on its own. And that's what it means. Like jumbo shrimp. Um, well, the two that I'm going to talk about this morning, government efficiency and artificial intelligence. I know neither exists, right? But it's a good concept. And I know a lot of you are saying, wait a minute, AI does exist because they say they use it and that's the most overused term nowadays. But listen, think about it. What is artificial intelligence? Right? I mean, I find that term, artificial intelligence, very offensive. I do because it's insult to the human beings, to us guys, you know, us people that can think. No, I mean, of course, you've got some that go around, that I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. But most of us, we can think. We make up. That's the beauty of being an animal. We do have the thought process. In fact, not only animals, plants do that. You know, every living thing can, I don't know if it's think, but it can react and reacts to adverse and aversion. And that's what thinking is. And artificial intelligence, it's fake thinking. Yeah, it actually it should be changed to ARS, because it's an automatic response system. And they're not the same. They're not the same at all. You guys know that I go on the YouTube, right? And I do X and I do, YouTube on the internet. And X uses Grok, and my Microsoft computer uses Copilot. That's the Microsoft AI. Two same things, right? Two very different systems. They're basically, well, let me take that back. They're not very different, but they are different. Two different systems. And that's because the system is only as good as the programmer. It's gotta be, you gotta have it programmed. That's the bottom line. And they and you get, whenever you get something made by man, you will get man's um, his prejudices, his his traits. He will put it into his program. You want to get religious? Look at the Bible. The Bible is full of contradictions. Why? Because it's made by man. Anything made by man is flawed. Really, everything made by man. There's nothing perfect. Nothing man ever does is perfect. There's always a flaw. And government efficiency. You know, I'm building a shed in my garage to store my stuff because my wife's saying, hey, you got to get your stuff out of here. So I'm going to make a little shed. And so I went to Lowe's hardware, pick up lumber and, stuff that I needed. And I was talking to the guy that cut the lumber for me and everything. Because when you buy plywood, and I'm going to buy plywood, I bought plywood, you can have, so many cuts. Like I had two cuts per board, one cross, one rip, one cross, one rip. And so we were talking story. He was a elderly gentleman too, and he he was saying that Lowe's. See, we've had last week. We had some really bad rains. I mean, we were under flood watch. Remember, I told you, if you hear the water, it was really bad. Where I live, thank goodness, It wasn't that bad. I mean, we had salmon steps across the street. I think I told you about the salmon steps. You know, it rains so much that the water comes running down from the mountain, and it comes through the people's patio and down their stairs, and it looks like salmon steps. Well, we not only had salmon steps, we had waterfalls off the walls, the retaining walls. There was a lot of water, and that was nothing compared to what they had on the North Shore. On the North Shore, on the Mount Kaala. Mount Kaala is the highest mountain on Oahu, and they had up to 25 inches of rain, just to let you know how much water there was. And the town of Haleiwa and the town of Wailua, they're low-lying towns on the North Shore, and they got smashed. I mean, there's this one like a camp. Well, it's called Otake Camp. You know, it's a group of homes, you know, residential area, wiped out. Waimanalo on the east side of Oahu. This guy lost animals. He has a farm, and he had to let the animals go. And he said, you know, about 50 of them, they didn't come back. I don't know if people are, you know, enjoying the free meal. Who knows, right? But yeah, it was really bad. And so this guy was telling me that Lowe's and Home Depot, and really neat because they're right next to each other in Ivale, in you know, in our industrial area. But anyway, they both sent out a bunch of volunteers to go help with the cleanup and everything, you know, because I mean, there's a lot. I mean, you got mud, you got rubbish, you got, you know, fallen trees, old refrigerators, you know, Papa's teeth, and whatever it is. But yeah, so they went up there to help with the cleanup. And he said, you know, the workers came back and they were filthy. I mean, he said they worked hard. But they said, you know what they didn't see one of? A government worker. No government machines, all the heavy machines up there, he said was all donated by private companies. You know, the residents of Oahu, they volunteered their time. They went up there. Haleiwa Brewery is a center point for the distribution. All the donations by the people are there. The government had a fair. Well, they call it a fair where you can go, you know, find out, you know, where to get help. Guess how many government stations there was? Numero uno, one. All it tells you is you tell them what's wrong, and they tell you which office to go to. You know, you're trying to clean up your place. You really need to take the time off, drive all the way to town, look for parking because we don't have centralized parking in Honolulu. It's all street parking except for the courts. The court has a parking lot. But if not, you gotta go Restaurant Row. You gotta pay over there. You gotta pay on, you know, everything. You gotta pay. You know, and you gotta go all the way into town to get these forms, and then you gotta fill out the forms. Then you gotta wait for the forms to get approved, and then bureaucracy. Don't you just love it? Government efficiency. Look at California. Well, it's been 6 years. Sorry, 5 or 6 years since the wildfires in California, and they haven't even started to rebuild. Lahaina, it's been 2.5 years, almost. Yeah, it's going to be 3 years in August. 3 years. You would figure in 3 years you'd get half of that place rebuilt, right? It's less than 10%. Really sad. People are frustrated because they wanna. I mean, they're paying rent, but then now they're gonna pay rent, and they're gonna get a mortgage to build their house, and then so where does this money come from? I mean, aid goes only so much, but they're not gonna pay you, to pay the whole thing. It's sad, you know. That's government efficiency. It just doesn't exist. Jumbo shrimp, right? Oxymorons. And it got artificial intelligence. And that's the funny part. Government is saying we're using AI to be more efficient for you. And I've told you about my fights with AI. They tell you to buy something, so you buy it. Like I was setting up my sound system, this sound system here. Oh, you need this type of from what you say, you need a preamp. Buy the preamp don't work. Oh no, but you need this one. Well, that's the one you told me to get. Oh no, but then no, but you actually really need this. So I gotta send it back to Amazon. I gotta pick up another one. My computer the other week, because of the storm, we had power outages, and it wasn't a long out, but it was short outages, and I figured I got surge protector, so no problem. My computer will be protected. Well, um, sucker would not start. I press the button, the light comes on, and in 2 seconds the light goes off. Press the button again, light comes on, light goes off. So I went to on my laptop. My laptop is more. It's a newer one. Battery backup, everything. So I asked, hey, what's happening? So they said, run these tests, run these tests. So we ran the test, and it came back, your computer is fried. You got to buy a new computer. Okay, I really wanted it. I wanted to know, but I got a new computer. I bought one from Best Buy, went to pick it up, brought it home. But because, okay, my computer went out Thursday. Friday, I found that out Friday morning. I went online, um, and the best one I could get, really, I mean, the best deal that I got was from Best Buy. It was an Asus computer, and I don't need much, so it was reasonable, keep it under grand. And so I bought it, and I bought the policy and the guarantee, warranty, and everything went down. Because of the weather, instead of picking it up Friday, I waited Friday and I waited Saturday because Saturday was it was raining really hard. I didn't want to drive. So, and they keep it, they hold your purchase for 1 week or something like that. So I said, okay, Sunday I'll go pick it up. And I went to pick it up on Sunday. And I brought it home. And then, I don't know why, something just told me, give Bessie. That's what I call my computer, old Bessie. Well, give Bessie one more try. Push the button. Guess what? She's still running now. Yeah, my fried computer was not fried. Yeah, it's just that it starts up using capacitors, and my capacitors are old, so they take a little bit longer to recharge. But AI, right? So I listen to AI. The computer's still working today, and it's been what, 2 weeks? Yeah, it's still working. She's working really good. I just found, I learned something. Okay, my intelligence worked. And yeah, I just learned that I've got to do something, do different things now. My laptop, I don't have to worry because it's not a surge protection. I have a surge protector on my charger. My charger has a surge protector, and then it doesn't charge up the computer, it charges up the battery, which is a third wall of protection for my laptop. And it won't discharge because of that battery. That battery will hold a charge. Yeah. So, I'm pretty set on the laptop because that's a Marty machine. I just got it. My motherboard went out last October, and they gave me a new motherboard with new operating system, new everything, right? But my old Bessie, I bought her in 2014. I bought her. Yeah, but something did go with the surges and everything. I fried my well, actually it didn't fry my printer. I had to buy a new printer. Evidently, the model that I got, it's HP. There's a there's a fuse on it, on the power. Yeah, I have power going to the unit, but the power is not getting into the unit. So I had to pick up a new, printer, and I bought that old printer back in 2008. Yeah, I like to hold on to my things. I'm not one of those, I gotta have the newest model. It doesn't really. I mean, I'm the oldest model, right? I'm the old model, so I kind of like to keep that tradition. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Don't change it. So I picked up a new Epson, and I picked up a home, and you know, I I don't know technology, or I don't know computers or printers or whatever. Um, the old one, my HP, had a tray where I could keep paper. Well, this new one, because it's a home deluxe edition, whatever that means, you gotta put the paper in as you need it. There's there's this plastic thing you pull up, it leans back like that, and you load up how much, up to 10 pages of paper, and she'll hold it and she prints. Yeah. So every time I want to print, I gotta put paper. But I'm gonna fix my HP since it's only a power delivery thing. Um, I got all these honeydew things to do, so I'm gonna do my shed first. Right now, I picked up the lumber yesterday, but because of the torrential rains, the lumber got wet. It's not warped; it's just wet. In other words, it's heavy. You can tell. So I've got it laid out in the garage, and it'll be drying out. And after she dries out, then I'll put everything together. But yeah, that's what's been going on. But yeah, so the AI told me to get a computer, and that computer's still running. She's running good. She runs my printer. You know, I don't need a lot on my computers. I don't need a lot of power. I don't need it. I don't do a lot of stuff. My heavy stuff is done with my laptop. The editing for this YouTube page, if I gotta do anything heavy, what they call heavy, yeah, the laptop will do it because the laptop has far more power, far more of it. Excess, it just has more bells and whistles than old Bessie. But yeah, so okay, so we let's go back to government efficiency, right? I mean, look at Congress, right? Their TSA shut down, and the Democrats are saying if you fix ICE, we'll open up the government. What's I For the life of me, I don't know what's wrong with ICE. ICE is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It's the Democrats that caused the problem. Yeah, and they don't see it. They caused this illegal immigration problem by opening up the borders and letting all these illegal immigrants in there, and yeah. So how can they say that we close the government because we don't want you to clean up the mess we made? Be- isn't that what they're saying? Makes no sense, and it's blowing my mind. And these people, not only the lawmakers, you go online, right, and they're backing up the Democrats, man. They're right, they're right. These illegal immigrants. Duh. What part of illegal you don't understand, right? But these illegal immigrants, you know, they shouldn't be arrested. But they won't leave voluntarily. We asked them, So ICE gotta go in, and ICE goes in with the blessing of the Secretary of State, with whatever the department. I think it is the State Department. It goes under because it's immigrations, right? But yeah, they go in there and they have warrants, and the Democrats want these officers not to wear a mask. But if you're Muslim, you can wear a mask. But if you're an officer trying to at least conceal a little of your identity so that your family is safe, that you are safe when you're off duty, because you're not an officer 24 hours a day, because you don't get paid 24 hours a day. It's like our representatives, right? Yeah, they think they work 24 hours a day. No, they sleep 24 hours a day, so they call that working. Government efficiency again. But yeah, I see why they wear masks, and I wouldn't want if I were single, no dependents, no kids, no family. Yep, I leave my mask off. The head of Hoffman, yeah, he's getting threats, and he's the head, and he gets threats all the time. His family is under guard protection. But these Democrats, I mean, they know they cannot be that stupid. Wait a minute, maybe they can. Some of the stuff they say. There was this one. My classic one is this representative from either Georgia or Alabama, somewhere down south, and he was questioning this general. And I know I've told you this before, but I love this story about Guam, and they wanted to build new facility, or they wanted to add on to the existing facility, and this Popolo guy, he was a representative. He wasn't a senator. He was a representative. But you listen to the senators; they're just as brilliant. But he asked the general, "Well, General, if we keep adding and keep adding onto that base, won't the island tip over?" Yeah, and that general, I gotta give him prompts, man. If they had sense, imagine Tom Holman up there, Hoffman or whatever it is, Holman, and he says, and he heard that, he would say, "Excuse me? Oh, what the hell are you talking about? You know, one island tip over." But he didn't even skip a beat. He said, "No, sir, I'm pretty sure that added weight will be compensated by the island can well hold on to it. It won't be tipping over." Well, I just wanted to make that clear. Government efficiency, right? That and AI. Yeah, don't trust AI. It's a program thing. Um, look at even Elon Musk with his Teslas. They're getting problems, and they can't fix them because their system. See, Elon Musk, he's a good organizer, but he doesn't really understand the system. He doesn't, he's not a programmer. He has people that do the programming. He has people that build the spaceships. He has people design the spaceships. He just gives the order to do it, and he takes the credit. But he doesn't have the brains to do that. You know, look at Bill Gates. Yeah, he's with Microsoft. He doesn't know the program. He just knows how to market it. He knows how to charge you. He knows how to make money. But he knows nothing about the computer. He just does. He just knows what they tell him this computer will do. That's why they're having so much problem with Windows 11. And I've been waiting for Windows 12, and it's not. First they said it's coming out at the end of 25, and now 26, 20. Realistically, I don't know if there is going to be a Windows 12 because they cannot get out the bugs out of Windows 11. So why would you make 12 if 11 is so bad? Yet the Windows 10, they're stopping the support for it. Like I got the extension, and then that's another reason why I didn't really want to buy a computer. I got the extension to October this year, but what's going to happen in October? They're going to have to extend it again. You know, the hospital that I worked at, we used Windows 7 on our, but we have an IT department, and the IT can just, I mean, they just keep putting band-aids, and they said, can it, you know how much it costs for a, system? We don't have that kind of money. Our servers were donated by Sony. Yeah, the servers for our hospital are Sony servers, and that's because the CEO and president of Sony came to our hospital from Japan to be treated. He ended up dying of it. He had cancer, and my hospital it leads the country in cancer research. They they have a program that's been going on since the 60s. So they've been gathering, a lot of data. All this data says that, yeah, we don't know what causes cancer, but in Japanese men. And so he came and he stayed and he passed away at our facility. But to thank our hospital and our facility for doing that, they donated these. Whew, and these servers came in before I was there, so in the 1990s. And I don't know how many, how many bytes of memory it has, I don't know about the expandability or whatever. But and my hospital, they're going, they're like me. We use it until it doesn't work anymore, and that's what they're gonna do. But yeah, we used Windows 7. But yeah, AI, government efficiency, oxymorons. Whenever you see oxymorons, or they give you like, they tell you something that pulling you in both directions. Oh, back off on. Unless it's food. If the chocolate says bittersweet, yeah, it is. Little bitter, but yet sweet. Stuff like that. If it's a physical description and you can actually figure it out, yeah, then go with it. But just don't accept blindly stuff like, artificial turf. That's another one. Artificial turf, fake grass. When we first, Oahu Stadium, Honolulu Stadium, the one that they're going to tear down already. When they first put it up, we played on natural grass, right? So we went on the field. Well, for one thing, our cleats don't work. You're slipping down, turning you get turning your ankles. And when you landed on that astroturf, let me tell you, it was just concrete with little bit padding with the astroturf. It was hard. It was sore. It's like playing on the road, with a carpet. Man, that was sore. That was terrible. I'm glad they improved it over the years. But yeah, don't be swayed by AI and government, oxymorons. Use your own atama, your head, your own brains. Use them. Don't be lazy. But that's my spiel this week. I don't know what next week's gonna be, but I'm just sorry. Sorry for bitching, but yeah, got to bitch. And I hope you like this. And if not, hey, please leave me comments. Let me know what I can do to improve. I know I can improve. I know I ain't perfect. Every time I try to be perfect, I try to walk on water. I still cannot walk on it yet. Part of I kind of shy away from water anyway. But you guys take care. You guys have a great week. See you next week. And from me to you, ahui ho, malama pono. And of course, aloha. I'll see you next week. Like, share, tell your friends. You know the spiel. I don't have to tell you. You're not stupid. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.